What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Baby Maker live Q&A. Today, we're going to answer any of your questions that you've got about the baby makers, shipping, things like that. And if you want to meet more of the team, Troy will be in here at 2:10 p.m. for his global status update, followed by Jason at 2:45 for any mechanic-related questions. Without further ado, let's get right into it. And first note, apologies for the poor image quality today. Windows decided to do an update, so was not able to get the camera working in time for the live. Next week, we'll be back with crispy images. All right, Alphonse, first question. Rob, Mr. Glad to see you're doing well. Wanted to give a big shout out to Mark X for helping get brake issues squared away. He did an excellent job and was the best, a real keeper. Awesome, Alphonse. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to relay that message on to Mark. Really appreciate it. From Danny, hi, Rob or Troy. Isn't shipping the bikes out of the EU in order to send them back into the EU just going to create additional problems, custom delays, and expense? Danny, great question. It does seem like a roundabout way to do it. In fact, it's exactly the opposite is true. The reason for that, part of it is for VAT purposes, duty purposes. We were recommended by our accountants and senior counsel that we need to do it that way to avoid folks in EU having to pay further duties. So if we kept going the way we were going, it was likely to incur duties. But going through UK and back, I don't fully understand how it works, but the purpose is to save you guys some expenses at the end of the day. Ray Bueno, I know I'm butchering that name, sorry. Hey Rob, my baby maker arrived 1 year to the day from when I ordered it. Love my matte black baby maker. Awesome, Ray. So excited that it got to you. Sorry it was a little past our estimates, but I'm sure it was worth the wait. Thank you very much. Danny, since Brexit, in order to send to the EU from the UK, you will need a customs declaration form, and the recipient will need to pay customs duties and import VAT. Danny, that's not our understanding of it, but we do have several people working on that right now. The purpose, again, is to avoid that and make sure you guys are paying the least amount as possible out of pocket. Antonio, I ordered an extra charger when I ordered my bike. Any idea when it should ship? Antonio, it depends on where you are. We've been shipping those from the US. I believe we've shipped out quite a few of those, but I don't know if all of them have shipped yet. Danny, to me, this option seems to be removing any advantage of building the bikes within the EU in the first place. Danny, the advantage there is you're saving 50% anti-dumping duties, which applies to bikes built in China and shipped to the EU. So in our eyes, it's a huge savings for your wallet. Mark, hello, Rob. No email yet, but I see lots of people getting bikes on the Baby Maker Facebook page. Absolutely, Mark. Loads of people getting the bikes. We are at 84% shipped so far. And when I say shipped, that means shipped from the factory, not necessarily delivered. I believe the delivered quantity is about 74%. So about 3/4 delivered and 84%, shipped out. Really excited by that. We are on the home stretch right now. Raul, hey Rob, love the Baby Maker. Clocking in about 20 miles a day and 50 on weekends, enjoying the daily bike rides. I'm wondering if a 70mm fork stem height extender would make the brake cables tight, about 2.7 inch higher than the stock height. I like to sit a little more upright. Raul, we've seen a lot of modifications doing that. Steering tube extender or an adjustable stem. All of those are possible. You definitely want to check your own cables yourself, as there can be a little bit of variance between bike builds, depending on frame, etc. So definitely check that, see how much space you've got, and make that judgment yourself. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, throw the old stem back on or get a slightly smaller one so that it fits and you're comfortable with it. When you do install it, be sure to turn it both ways completely and see if there are any tight spots that you'll need to address. Roxy, Rob and the FLX team, my wait is over. Thank you for an amazing product. Hey, Roxy, so excited you got the bike, and thank you for the positive feedback. We really appreciate it, and glad it finally made it to your door. Patrick, no one in EU has paid any duty so far. Very much afraid it's going to happen now. Patrick, that should not be happening. The reason we're changing that is to continue that trend. Norman, what is error 21? Norman, I'm going to save that question for Jason. He's an absolute expert when it comes to the electronics on these. I don't have the answer offhand, but let me pull up a note here, and I'm going to write your question down for Jason, okay? Because I do have a terrible memory. Norman, what is error 21? All right, Norman, we got that written down. Jason will be in at 2:45, 40 minutes here to answer any mechanic-related questions. Awakened Sleeper, a question: how long does it take from getting an allocation email to delivery in LA, trying to plan my summer road trips? Great question. Typically, that could be anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how it goes with customs, if there's any port congestion to deal with, etc. Maybe 5 to 7 weeks is a better estimate. Emerald Citizen, hi Rob, great to see you again. Could you tell me what the rims are made from? Originally, the Sterling were polished rims, but I believe they are painted, but would love to chrome them. Is this possible? Emerald Citizen, it is an aluminum rim, so that's an aluminum alloy. Antonio, I am in Maryland. Okay, Maryland for the extra charger. Got it. I'm going to ask Troy about those extra chargers when he's in here. He'll be in about 5 minutes. Michael Garibay, hey Rob, thanks for coming out Sunday for the ride in PB. It was great meeting Matt, Eugene, Denise, and the rest, and was a perfect day for a ride. Just missing a blue raspberry. Must do this again. Michael, hey, it was awesome seeing you and riding with you on, was it Sunday, right? Super cool ride. Looking forward to the next one. If anybody's not up to queue on that, we did have a group ride here in San Diego. We'll be announcing more of those on Facebook and our newsletter. So if you're not signed up, be sure to be signed up for that and pull us out of your spam folder and into your main inbox so you don't miss the next ride. I'm getting that cotton mouse, so I got to open up my LII GT Liquid IV Ice Green Tea. This is the best pick-me-up. Wow, that's good. Ding. Hi, Rob. A couple of questions for me this week. Why are UK people paying different amounts of VAT? VAT is at 20% standard. Why so many differences? Ding, that's the first I've heard that UK people have different amounts of VAT. It should be calculated off the amount that they paid when they ordered the bike. So some people ordered a standard, some ordered a pro. That's the only explanation I can think of, is if they had a different cost on the bike, then the duty would be a different total. Karsten, how to estimate the shipping status for my contribution? So Karsten, if you have received a allocation letter which has your container number in it, we do have a report every Tuesday on the Indiegogo updates of where each container is, all the outstanding containers anyways. If you have not been allocated yet, there is unfortunately no way to tell exactly which container you'll be in. Unfortunately, there's too many variables for us to tell 5 containers down the line exactly which SKUs and bikes will be in that. That's something that's impossible at this point. But we can do, once we build the bikes, we allocate it to you, and that's when we can tell you, your bike has been built, there were no issues, it's on the container, it's safe and sound, and it's coming to your door. So, long story short, if you haven't received an allocation letter, please hang tight for that. It will be coming soon. Alphonse, love my Baby Maker Pro matte black, and I get stopped in New York City all the time. Today, the NYPD stopped to ask me where I got it from. People love it. Hey, that's awesome, Alphonse. Maybe we'll see some NYPD on the Baby Maker soon. Alkesh Patel. It's a little far away. Maybe it's Ikesh Patel. Alkesh. What is the size of the seat post for the Baby Maker Pro 19-inch? That is 30.4 millimeters. 30.4, Alkesh. If I place an order in the next few days, when do I expect to receive a bike? Alkesh, our current estimates are summer of this year, which is coming up close. We're almost all the way through the pre-orders at the moment. We've shipped 84% of them, so we're in the home stretch. Once those are all delivered or shipped out, we'll be shipping new bikes to inventory and sell. Ding, is there greater scope for EU and UK customers to have a better estimate of dispatch now, please? Can't wait for my Baby Maker. Ding, same as it was before. We're still trucking along about a container a week. So right now, again, it is very tight for the July 31st deadline. Could be give or take a little bit on that, but if everything goes as planned, we're going to be kind of right at that limit. Brian T. Rob, my bike was on T4 and heading for Hawaii. When do we get tracking numbers? Indiegogo is showing a tracking number from last November when a bike was allegedly shipped last time. Brian, you stumped me. I'm going to save that one for Troy. He is handling the Hawaii logistics. So we'll ask him if he can check on that. Walleroy, any way of getting some ideas of how long till the bikes will be built? Think you just answered this. Thanks. Okay, great. Just answered it. Awesome. Alkesh, great. Thank you, Rob. I'm placing the order. Hey, fantastic. Can't wait to get it for you. Raul, hey, Rob, any updates on the 9337 total miles error that Colin was looking at? Also experienced a loss of around 15 to 20 PSI of air on daily basis, both tires. Is this normal? I feel to around 83 PSI. Raul, it's not normal to be losing tire pressure like that. They should stay pretty full for a long time. So that's not normal. You may have a leak either from the tire itself. It could be a micro puncture or something that's very common is coming from the stem. So I would get that checked out at a bike shop. The 9337 total miles error, we do not have an update on that yet. Still investigating. Welcome, Troy. Hey. Come on in. Let me get you a big round of applause. We need a theme song for you. Superman music. Troy, how you doing today?
I'm well.
We got this shitty, poopy webcam here instead of the big camera.
Oh, is that what? Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I was not prepared today. That was my fault. So, I've got a few questions for you.
Gonna do those first?
Yeah, why don't we start with those? All right. Extra chargers.
Yes.
Somebody, Maryland, wants to know where his extra charger is. I believe we've started shipping those, right?
Oh, yeah, we've shipped a bunch of them. It's all based upon whether you have your bike or not. So we go through and I don't know when you got your bike, but we kind of go through this periodically. We had a whole bunch, T2, 3, 4, 5, and C18. All these go out, and we were kind of waiting until we fulfilled a bunch of bikes, and then we go through and kind of do a sweep. Do they have their bike? Get in their charger, get in their battery, and now we're going to go through and a bunch of touring kits. In fact, that's what's coming off of C19 is like 550 or 600 touring kits. The rest of them will go into stock, awaiting people to get their bikes. But yeah, we want to make sure you have your bike. Nothing more frustrating than sitting there looking at a spare battery, a spare charger, a touring kit, and no bike. Although those days of people without bikes in the North America and the low volume locations are rapidly coming to a close.
Their days are numbered. All right, one more question for you.
Very much so.
Troy, my bike was on T4 and heading for Hawaii. When do we get tracking numbers? Indiegogo is showing a tracking number from last November when a bike was allegedly shipped last time.
Okay, so here's the issue. We can't update tracking numbers on Indiegogo. Contact support will get you to tracking number. The tracking number will show pending until it gets scanned into Hawaii. So we just did a bill of lading for 6 bikes yesterday or Monday, I don't remember what. Weeks go quickly here. So those bikes will go on the water, but get in touch with customer support. Tell them you need a tracking number. We'll get you a tracking number. Once we upload those into Indiegogo, we have lots of problems. That's why that one time we had a corrupted file. It was a nightmare. That's why we had to send emails out to everybody. Indiegogo, once you input a tracking number, cannot be updated, unfortunately.
Great.
So, customer support.
How do they contact customer support?
Support at flx.bike.
Beautiful. All right. I'll let you get into it. I understand you might have a lot to talk about today.
I don't know if I do. Same stuff. A lot of the same stuff.
All right.
So container 19, the MOL Prestige, that's long since docked. I think it's actually gone now. But the container is at the warehouse, 54 baby makers, 825 touring kits, just to frustrate everyone, all but the 19 Pro Silvers, which we'll talk about in a second. So they have all of those labels, and they are fulfilling that now. T6-1, the Bohai C. We are awaiting delivery of that to the FedEx Trade warehouse. It's cleared customs, obviously off the ship. Those should be coming to you early June. That is 225 of a Pro 23 Sterling upper. So if you've been waiting for that bike, there's a bunch of them on that. There's some more on some other ships too. So we're just awaiting that one. The T6-2, the CL Spring, that one has been sitting. The funny part was it was sitting when the Bohai C showed up. The Bohai C went straight in to berth and was unloaded, and the CSCL Spring is still sitting. Again, I think we'll still have that out early June. You'll have those bikes. It's just a matter of time before that one berths, so we'll get it unloaded. Another 225 bikes there. Those address confirmations for both of those went out 5/19. So if you saw those, if you got an address confirmation, check your spam folder, all of that. If your address changed, let us know, because we're cutting labels now and we want to make sure you get your bike. Next one is container 20 on the ship OOCL London. That is due to arrive at the port tomorrow. It's currently like off of Lompoc, Santa Barbara area. Just checked it this morning. 57 baby makers, more touring kits. The address confirmations on that went out yesterday, and for both the touring kits and the bikes. Lost my spot. Sterling droppers in that one. Are you laughing at me?
No.
He's
Try. I've been there.
He's watching me struggle. He's enjoying it. We're putting a lock on the outside of this door too, so he's not going to be able to get out.
Oh man.
Fun. All right, next one up, C20, the SM Ningbo. That is loaded. It's making a second stop in China. 189 baby makers, 229 touring kits. Allocation letters actually went out today. Pro 19 silver touring kits are on that one, so you will be getting those. That's actually for the bikes. For the touring kits, we'll have another round of allocation letters go out. T7-1, the Costco, I'm going to screw it up again. Taitong? We're getting closer. That's due in 6/6. Allocation letters were set out 5/19, just waiting for that one. Next two containers, we had talked about T8 before. There's T7-2 and T8. Now there's this T7-2 and T7-3. They actually moved that up, got it onto the same ship. Estimated time of departure is 5/24. It's kind of past due on departure. The OOCL Luxembourg. So we are sending out allocation letters for that today. 450 allocation letters going out. So if you get an allocation letter today, it's most likely one of those two containers. And then the next one that we have visibility of is C22. That'll be the CSCL South China Sea. That ship is still inbound to China. 222 baby makers. We will send out allocation letters on that early next week, and anticipate you'll get your bike probably late June for T7-2, 7-3, and C22. There's the domestic report.
Let me get some questions for you to break this thing up. All right. Let's see. Can you move Superman's mic closer, please? I'll turn your mic up and move it a little closer.
I'm a soft-spoken kind of guy.
All right. Troy's audio is faint. We'll bump him up even more. Do you want to give us a test?
Test.
That should be good.
You make me mad, I'll talk louder.
There we go. Don't piss him off.
Can't do it.
Emerald Citizen says, "Hey Troy, great to see you. Keep up the good work."
Trying. All those Facebook posts, I mean, they're just like rolling in, right? Of everyone getting their bikes and everything. You have no...
So
I know I
awesome.
said it before. You guys have no idea. It's like so cool because I've seen some of these names and people are like, "Where's my bike? Where's my bike?" And then they get it. And what's the 3 words we hear over and over again? Worth
Where's
the
worth the
wait.
wait? Yeah. First is where's my bike, then it's worth
Yeah,
the wait.
exactly. So we're converting those from one to the other.
Beautiful.
All right.
Converts. Okay. Hi, Mr. Superman. What is the courier for my country are you using? This is the third time I've asked you, Mr.
Chris, you
Kent.
should have gotten you're in Indonesia, correct?
Indonesia, yeah.
Did you not you should have gotten tracking, I think. God darn it, and I didn't write it down. Hold on, I'm going to run out and go. I will come back and get that one for you. So it's it's the website I can send to you. I always forget the name of that one. But we just sent out Singapore and Malaysia tracking, and I'm waiting for the Indonesia tracking. You haven't missed your bike. I can guarantee you that. You have not missed your bike yet. Don't worry, it's coming.
Awesome. Hey, we got a fellow YouTuber on here. Nicholas Natali joining for the live. Great to see you on here. Thanks for popping in. Check his channel out, Nicholas Natali. All right, what's next?
Okay, so I know you talked about the Europe thing a little bit and what's going on there, the vacating of the Netherlands facility and moving everything to Big Web Warehouse in the UK. So UK2, I think I mentioned this before, we still got about 3 or 4 people that we need to get VAT out of. Just keep dinging those. I don't know if we don't have good information or whatever, but a few bikes left over. NL4, thought we were going to ship that last week, and then this whole situation kind of transpired, so we held it. That is actually leaving tomorrow. Address confirmations went out today for that one, and also for UK3, address confirmations are going out for that one also. We're trying to get that one out late this week. I think it's probably going to more likely be early next week. So we are going to be converting. These are the last containers or last shipments. That'll be UK3, NL4. Since they're all going to the same place now, we can kind of mix these loads and fulfill directly in order by order date, as opposed to trying to do one UK and 2 Europe. So starting after that, it was NL5. It'll now be SP8, Spain 8, and we will send out the address confirms on that 6/2 early next week. We'll have those ones out also. The touring kits are complete and packaged up. The thing we're working out right now is logistics. That is a less than container load issue, and it's very hard to split containers right now because the container shortage. Container pricing is
insane.
It's obscene.
We're paying 10 grand per container to ship them over here, up from about 2K.
Yeah, it's quadrupled. Previously. It's quadrupled in 6 months. It's obscene. So the problem is just absolute availability of LCL out of China. So we're working on that. We will get the touring kits. They'll all now go to the UK. They were going to split between the Netherlands and UK. So again, we had to kind of rework our plan, and that kind of changed things a bit. We'd split all this up to go to 2 different locations. Now it has to all be condensed back and get all of our paperwork back in order. So they are coming. I know people have been patient, and I appreciate that. Again, the focus has been on bikes, and we're going to get the other 2 containers going here pretty quick also, bikes, to get those to Spain. And I think that pretty much covers Europe. We will be making a carrier change also in Europe.
Awesome. Let me get you a couple questions before you hop to the next section. Okay, so Bruce Hoffman says, received my bike a week or so ago. It is the best. Thank you so much. Awesome, Bruce.
I guess he's saying it's worth the wait.
I think he is. Okay. Yeah, he said it's the best. All right. For Mike Hepelette, in the EU, how long from address confirmation to delivery?
So in the answer is it varies a lot. It depends on where in the EU you are, because we've had coming out of the Netherlands, we've had things literally delivered in 2 or 3 days, up to like 2 weeks. It all depends. If you're going to a non European Union country, then you end up with customs and things like that. I think we had a bike go to Mallorca or something like that. That took some extra time. It's a little hard to say. I would say from your address confirmation, you're probably looking at a minimum, probably about 2 weeks. You could be out 3.5 weeks, depending. So again, it depends on location. In the UK, usually they're going out once they're received in a big web warehouse. In some cases, they're delivered next day. Some of them have been out to 4 and 5 days, and we've had a couple that took a little bit longer because they had trouble getting in touch with people or finding locations, addresses.
Awesome. Sweet. One more question for you from Johnny Walker. Any 23 Sterling Pro droppers on the way to North America?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, C20 has Sterling droppers in it, and I remember I noted that. And there's another one I was just looking at. I don't recall where it is, but yes, there are Pro droppers coming, Sterling droppers.
Awesome. All right, all you, Troy.
All me.
Yep.
Okay, low volume location. So we've had some hiccups getting out some of our tracking numbers and such. I guess we didn't have a chance to upload that video. We just got that this morning. So we have video, all of the remaining Japan bikes finally loaded up and going. We've already talked about China. That's done. Hong Kong, the 25 that shipped. Now the remaining 6 are going out. Singapore and Malaysia, we've already uploaded your tracking, and we will be uploading Indonesia here shortly. I have to go back to our contact to make sure I have that. Korea and Taiwan, we've already got some bikes on the way to Taiwan. The ones that we had national ID, we went ahead and shipped those off. We're still trying to get national IDs for a few people in Taiwan. And we also shipped off the people that we have the PCCC for in Korea, and trying to get the rest of those put together also. So there's a few people who haven't responded in a real timely basis, but we are putting out what we can. And we will soon be adding, in terms of shipment, they are packing up. Sent us a picture this morning of the palletized UAE, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand. Those are all loaded and moving to shipping. So I don't know what the time for fulfillment to your door is on those, but all of those are moving also.
Is that everything you got?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty much everything we've got. So we will, like I said, we're going to have a big push of touring kits in the next couple of weeks. We're going to go through, reconcile what bikes we've shipped, figure out who's owed chargers and that, and we'll be putting those into the mail very shortly also.
When are we going to start requiring vaccine cards for delivery?
Let's see. That would be over my dead body.
Awesome. All right. Question from Richard. Still a little confused about my bike's location. Order number 11141. Allocation letter received 429. On some live feeds, I heard that means T61 and others T62. What is the final answer? Any thoughts on that?
It depends. If it is a Pro Sterling 23 upper, it is on T61. If it is anything else, it is on T6-2. And T6-1, the Pro 23 Sterling uppers are the one, that is the container that is, we're awaiting delivery right now at FedEx. T6-2, unfortunately, is on the CSCL Spring. That's the one that's anchored off of Long Beach right now.
Awesome. Cool. Let me see if we've got one more for you. Piers just has a comment. It would be useful for those who do not have their bikes in the UK and Europe to know which containers are for which month. For example, Spain 8 is March-April bikes. It will lessen the anxiety. So he's saying if we can...
Yeah,
you get it.
It doesn't, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We just sent out the address verification, or address confirmations for UK3. Some of those bikes are in low quantities. It is all the bikes there are of that model, and they're done. There's others, Pro 19 matte black uppers. It's going to be a while, so again, it depends on the model that you're ordering. We have 250 of that model, I believe, to deliver. Pro 23 pink droppers, I think we have 3 in the UK, and I think it was that one. Don't quote me on that. I have to look, but literally all of them. That build that they just finished for UK3 is all of them. So whether you ordered in March on the first minute of the campaign, or if you ordered it in September or November, you're getting that bike. It's just how it breaks based upon the volumes of bikes that were ordered. So again, there really isn't a good this date equals this date. If everything was ordered in equal quantities, but that is the big wild card is literally you have a turn down ratio on these bikes of about 100.
Awesome. Troy, I have one final question for you from me, just to confirm, because I'm in a bit of disbelief. Our
Okay.
total shipping status, that's bikes that have shipped, that have left the factory,
Yep.
84%. Is that right?
Yes. Worldwide. That's correct.
Worldwide, 84% total. Somebody was asking about US. Is it really 97%?
It's 97% because we just allocated about another 1,000 bikes. So to drill into those numbers a little bit, now there is a delta because there's a bunch of bikes that are in shipment right now and on the water, but the actual delivered percentage in the US is 78%, 84% in Canada.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
so those again, shipping means it has left the factory. It is not necessarily shipped, out of FedEx to you. It's shipped out of the factory. It's left its origin, and like I said, 78% in the U.S. have been delivered.
Wow. So what is our total delivered percent worldwide?
68%.
68%. Awesome.
We were not too long ago celebrating that we were over 50%.
Yeah,
the
it
numbers are
felt
closing
like about a
very,
month ago.
very quickly. Yeah, it's been a lot of damn work, is what it's
Uh-huh.
been. So unfortunately, yeah. I mean, thank goodness, Richard was really pivotal in getting all that done. We didn't really talk about him much,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, my intern Richard did a fantastic job. He shoveled a lot of coal to get these bikes
Awesome.
moving to everybody. Yeah, good guy.
Amazing work. If
Yep.
we weren't on camera right now, I'd shed a tear. All right, Troy. Thank you so much for joining in live.
Is that it?
That's everything, man. Thank you for
Okay.
the hard work, and let's get that to 100. We're almost there.
We are rolling. We just got still some challenges in Europe. We're working it, but the rest of the world and low volume locations, actually, you will see a big jump in that number from 54% next week. I think it's going to be pretty shocking, and EU will move up. UK, you'll come up again. Those numbers should move together. Now with the kind of consolidated way that we're trucking those and going to be doing fulfillment.
Awesome.
All right.
All right, Troy. Big thanks again. Big round of applause. Great work. All right, I did miss some questions when Troy was in here. I'm not ignoring you, just giving Troy relevant logistics, etc., production-related questions. Now let's catch up on the others. Wow, that's weird. When I move the mic, the mic cord, we get different amounts of feedback. All right. From Alex, hey, great to see you. Still waiting over here in Germany for my Blue Raspberry Pro Baby Maker I ordered in June 2020. Thanks for making it arrive soon. Alex, we're excited to finally get it to you. We're making big progress in the EU, so please hang tight for that. June 2020 is towards the end of our major bulk of orders, but we're rounding third base really there, so please hang tight for that. It's going to be well worth the wait. Chris Link, hi Rob, nice. Good to see you again. Just want to inform you, I have not received my backpack for my Phantom. Will I receive my bikes or my backpack first? Chris, I've just sent a screenshot of your message to the Miles team to check into that. We should have sent all the international backpacks out by now. It's possible something got missed, so they're going to look into that. Yanni, what is your personal tire pressure preference? Yanni, I'm going to be honest with you. I almost always go by hand. I rarely will take the time to get the pump with the pressure gauge and do it exactly right. I'll just go it. I like it firm, especially if I'm going to be on smoother roads. If it's going to be a little bumpier, I might come down 10, 20% in terms of pressure. You don't want it so low that you could get a possible pinch flat. And that's what happens when your tire pressure is low, so low that your rim can squeeze the air basically and hit the inner tube on the other side, which will puncture that inner tube. That's called a pinch flat. So you want to be aware of those. I've had a lot of those in my time, but generally I just do it by hand. Chris, did I miss Sarah yet? Sarah will not be on today. She's got her plate full. Um, the last lives have been going way over time, so we're limiting the amount of guests each live. Today, it will just be Troy, who's already been in here, and Jason coming in at 2:45 in 10 minutes to answer mechanic-related questions. Okay, we answered a bunch of these with Troy. Ding says, loved watching your Sunday ride out. Awesome. I think we'll have some photos and actual video coming from that, not just my phone video, which you probably saw on Facebook. So keep an eye out for that. Mark says, hello, Troy. Good job. He's doing an amazing job. Chris Link, thanks, Rob. Finally, I can order my grip tape for my board. Awesome, Chris. I'm glad the team sorted you out with that. Alkesh, I'm 5'7". I assume Baby Maker Pro 19-inch will be most suitable size for me, correct? Just want to make sure. So at 5'7", the safest bet for you is the 19-inch size. That's the size we recommend for your height. I'm 5'8" personally, and I fit the 23 okay. I've got the seat up about 1.5 inches when I ride. I still have a little bit of room, but it is tight, to be honest. I do have to kind of point my feet down and use my tiptoes to touch the ground at that point. So at 5'7", we do recommend the 19-inch. Mike, we got your question with Troy. Michael David, hey guys, finally received my bike. It came 3 days after my birthday. My question is, does turning the assist off and on affect the distance you can ride, or is it better to leave it on? So Michael, your battery life is a function of how much power has gone through that bike. So if you're in level 5, it's going to be using more energy from the battery than if you're in level 3. Likewise, if you're in level 3, it's going to be using more energy than if you were in level 0 or had the bike off. So when you're not using the assist, you're not using any battery, really. If you have the screen on and you're in level 0, it's using the most minuscule, negligible amount of battery. So if you do want to conserve battery, you can drop the level even down to 0. That will save the battery, all the battery, really. It's up to you how you want to budget that amount of battery. Johnny Walker Black, we got yours. From Larry Tesler, without realizing it, I put my fender stay clip on backwards on one of my 4 stays. Since I'll have to break this off, I need a replacement. Will this part be available soon? Larry, I'm not sure exactly which part you're talking about or why it needs to be broken off. I would certainly reach out to our support team, support@flx.bike. They may be able to find you that part. Please document it, send some photos in of exactly what the issue is, what you need, and our expert mechanics can help you out. Chris Link says, for Troy, your job shipping all Baby Maker bikes has nearly ended, Mr. Superman, so hang in there and keep the spirit okay, my hero. Troy, I hope you heard that. Or hope you heard that. Richard, we got your question with Troy. Piers as well. Chris Bamford, on my Pro, the disc brakes are a bit squeaky. What can I do to stop them squeaking, please? Chris, we just published a video, a new Mechanic Monday video. I'm going to find it for you right now, which deals with how to adjust your brakes. So I'll send it for you here in the chat. And if anybody else has a similar issue, rotor rub, squeaky brake, etc., you can follow Mark's tips. Mark has put a video out on Mechanic Monday addressing that issue. Andrew Polin. I know you've been asked this a bunch, but when I get the address confirmation email, how long is it before the box actually ships out? Andrew, it varies based on location. Typically in the U.S., it will be conservatively about 5 to 7 weeks. Okay, Jeff, whoa, lost the comments just exploded. Jeff, responding to Alkesh about his height. I'm also 5'7", received my Baby Maker a few weeks ago, and the 19-inch Pro is perfect for me. Awesome, Jeff. Thanks for the feedback. Trebnod, Superman, how many UK shipments will there be? 6. I don't have my bike yet and just wondering when I might get mine. I'm guessing towards the end. Trevnod, I do not have that answer, unfortunately, for UK shipments. Again, we are combining UK and EU shipments together. Johnny Walker Black, what was the highest volume bike ordered? The top 3, I don't have the exact order for you, but the top 3 were matte black, sterling, and tangerine, the orange color. And let's see, it was definitely the Pro 23-inch bullhorn configuration. So one of those, Pro 23-inch bullhorn. Sheldon, I'm standing by looking out for my allocation letter for an order for 2 baby makers, 19 Pro Black and Sterling Upper on 5521. What email should I be looking out for? I don't want to miss it. Sheldon, it is coming from shipping@flx.bike. So keep an eye out for emails from shipping@flx.bike. If you've got like spam filters, you want to add that to your green lighted, your white list of senders so it doesn't get spammed out. Shipping@flx.bike. Chris, I'm so excited to receive my bike soon. Rob, can't wait. Also, please remember my proposal. Okay, Rob. Thank you, Chris. Really excited for those bikes to arrive for you. Andrew, okay, 23 Sterling Pro Bullhorn shipping to California, so I guess my box is still floating out near Long Beach. Yes, Andrew, please hang tight for that. We don't have control over how long each container takes, but we do our best to make sure it's a smooth import as soon as they get in. Daniel S., my bike is on the water just south of Tokyo, Japan. Thank you for all your hard work. Awesome, Daniel S. I'm glad you're able to track that. Fantastic. Can't wait to get it for you. When you do get it, get us some photos of your baby maker in Japan. I bet that's going to be absolutely stunning. James, Rob, thanks for turning me on to Fresh Clean Teas. Does the 97% US shipped include web orders or only Indiegogo? If it does include web orders, is it all web orders or through a specific date? James, I believe that includes web orders. I don't know exactly how Troy has done the calculation, so I can check with him on that for the next live to be more prepared for that. But it should be a mix of Indiegogo and web orders. Jason, what's the status for Alaska Bike? Seems to go into silence mode after the shipping address confirmation emails. So, Jason, how that works is after you get the shipping address confirmation, typically that means the bike has been added to the container, and then there's still quite a bit of time between that container. It's got a sea journey. Sometimes there's port congestion. Then it has to get through customs. Then it has to go from customs to FedEx. Then FedEx has got to sort them all out. We've got to give them a file, ship them on from there. So it can be a good 5 to 7 weeks before we see movement from that email to the time you get it, get a tracking number. Richard Greeny, thanks. Mine's a Baby Maker Pro 23 Sterling Upper, so it's nearly here since I live in Northern California. Awesome, Richard. Trevnod, any chance of scanning ahead for more Troy questions before he goes for future reference? Thanks. Yes, Trevnod, I will keep that in mind. Sorry if I missed one of your questions for him. Yanni, thanks, man. Keep up the great work. Lamont, great customer support, YouTube videos, and communication. Thank you. Hey, thank you so much, Lamont. Really appreciate you recognizing the hard work the team puts into it. I just like doing this for fun, and we'll try to keep it up and keep everybody well informed. Andrew, is the top speed electronically limited? Andrew, yes and no. So it depends on where you are. In the U.S., we limit them to 28 miles per hour. And what that means is it's simply a cutoff for the motor. And this is to be legally compliant in the U.S., that the motor will stop giving power once you hit 28 miles per hour. Now, not everybody's going to be able to hit those speeds. It's a combination of how much power the motor is putting in and how much power your legs are putting in. So to get those speeds, you really need to be pumping on those pedals and have that thing in level 5. We've got some people who are doing over that speed, which means they're relying on their leg power because the motor does cut off at 28. So we've seen 30 plus miles an hour. But again, that's a lot of leg power as well. In the UK and other international locations, they're typically limited to 25 kilometers per hour, which is about 15 miles per hour. And in those locations, if you do need to change the speed limit to satisfy your local regulations, you can do that. Chris Link, any suggestions for puncture proof for my baby maker later? Some people, Chris, are putting on Tannis tubeless tires. That is one option. I found they were very firm. I didn't quite like them as much as the regular pneumatic tires. So not for me personally, but you can check those out. Bondi Peter. Hi, Rob. Glad to see numbers of bikes dispatch climbing. All good here in Bondi. Loving the ride on the baby maker. Thanks so much, Bondi Peter, all the way from Australia. Enjoy the bike for us and ride safe. All right. We've got another visitor. Almost caught up on the comments, too. Jason, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys?
Let me get your microphone on. Sorry.
Oh.
All right. How you doing?
Very good. Very good. Great to be here.
Pull on up.
Pull on up. There we go.
Sweet. All right. I've got some questions for you, sir.
Nice.
So, everybody, this is Jason, our expert mechanic, the e-bike whisperer, as I like to call him, because he knows his way around an e-bike way better than I do. So we had some questions for you. From Norman, what is error 21?
Excellent question. So on most e-bikes, in general, error 21 is going to be a speed sensor specific error. Where your speed sensor, though, on your e-bike is located is going to be different. The baby maker specifically, your speed sensor is connected to your hall sensor, which is inside your hub motor. If you're experiencing error 21, you could have a problem with the speed sensor. It could be a problem with the hall sensor. It could be a problem with the wiring that connects to the controller. That would be the motor wire. It could also be a problem with the controller where everything basically plugs in, where your hall sensors plug in. So determining what that error code is telling us is going to tell us that it has a speed fault, but where that fault exists can take some troubleshooting and diagnostics. So if you have error 21, please reach out to us. That's FLX at support or support at flx.bike, and we'll be able to help you get through the diagnostic. I have some good steps worked up that our customer service will share with you.
Awesome. So best case on that could just be a connection, like
It very well could be. It could be where the motor wire at the back, the motor wire plugs into the main wire that kind of runs into the bike. So absolutely, I would first just check all the connections, making sure everything is firmly pressed together. You can even pull them apart, visually inspect the pins and where the pins go into. So if you will, the female and the male side of it. Just make sure nothing looks burnt or damaged. Make sure nothing looks bent, and make sure that there's nothing extra like dirt or grime kind of impacted inside of your connections. As long as it's all free and clear, clean, nothing is burnt, plug it back together. Make sure you give it a lot of force. That's a good check. Furthermore, you can check the other connections that are simply visible. You could check your LCD connection, but definitely first part of troubleshooting and diagnostic is to check the connections. Absolutely.
awesome. All right, now somebody mentioned, they said they put their fender stay clip on backwards on one of the 4 stays. Since I have to break it off, I need a replacement. Will this part be available soon? I wasn't exactly sure what they were talking about. Maybe you've got better insight.
So I do actually have all of the pieces to the fenders that you guys could possibly need. I have the metal stays. I have the little clips that are the black clips that attach the stay to the fender itself. I have the hardware to mount all of it, and I have the fenders themselves. So if you're having any issue whatsoever, I would say also reach out to our support. They'll get you set up with the parts you need, and I will likely be the one to get those shipped out to you.
Awesome. All right. From Richard. Good evening, Jason. I've seen on some videos a drinks bottle on the down tube. I remember you saying it's not ideal because of the battery. Is it okay? And if so, what's the maximum screw size?
Excellent question. I would say, so when I should probably next time bring a bottle cage in with me just to kind of explain what I'm looking at. But the part of the bottle cage that will attach to the frame on different bottle cages is going to be a different thickness. Some of them can be as thick as like 4 or 5 millimeters. If you went with something that has a very thick attachment point on the bottle cage, at that point you might rethink getting a screw that's only 4 or 5 millimeters longer so that it accommodates for that space of the bottle cage. If you go with something that like the bottle cage that comes inside of your touring package, the part of the bottle cage that attaches to the frame, I believe, is only 2 millimeters thick. If you use that bottle cage, you won't need to change the size of the hardware whatsoever. You can definitely use that mounting point for a bottle cage. I don't want you guys to think that you absolutely shouldn't. You definitely can. That's what it was designed for. You could even put 2 bottle cages on there. But just keep in mind the length of the screw is meant to basically keep some pressure on top of the battery. That's all they're doing. Those screws aren't screwing into anything directly. They're just meant to screw in and hold the battery so that the battery doesn't flop around inside of the down tube. If it flops around, there is safety. It's built well, so it's not going to harm anything. It just becomes a little more annoying than anything else to hear a clunking or a tinking as you're riding down because the battery isn't settled nice and solid in there. So if you do put a bottle cage on there, if it's not the one that we have installed, if you install it and you do notice after dropping the tire a little bit that there is a clunking sound, then you would just need a slightly longer screw, probably only 3 to 5 millimeters maximum.
Totally. On that, so there's 2 bottle cage mounts, the one on the seat tube. There's absolutely nothing there. That's the one where you'd want to install it first.
Yeah.
Because the one on the down tube, that's where the battery sits. You want to get a screw that's exactly as thick as the your water bottle mount adds to it. Add that much thickness to your screw when you get new screws.
Yeah.
And do be careful with that because the battery's on the other side. There's a pressure plate on it, so don't go too nuts with that. And if you do move the battery around, make sure you get the side with the pressure plate
on the top.
On the top, yeah, where those screws will be. All right, Jason asks, do the connectors on the bike have dielectric grease? If no, do you recommend using it?
So that's actually an excellent question. In my experience, I would absolutely always recommend dielectric grease. Cannot hurt whatsoever. It can only help keep corrosion, keep dust out. So with that being said, in production, it becomes very expensive to put these bikes together. I believe if you were to add dielectric grease to every connection, and every connection doesn't necessarily need dielectric grease, though. If I'm installing it, I use it just because it's the way I was trained, and it is preventative, but not necessary. So no, they're not manufactured with dielectric grease. If you just want to go all out and make sure, all out peace of mind, I suppose is the best way to say it, there is no harm in adding dielectric grease to every connection that you see. So
awesome. Let's see. Larry says, thanks for answering my question about the black clip for the fenders.
Sure.
Awesome. And Jeff says his top speed downhill is 42 miles per hour.
Dude, that is on the Baby Maker? Or are we talking Blade 2?
Baby Maker.
Boy, that you are ripping, man. That's probably as fast as I've heard anybody going on the Baby Maker personally. Rob might have heard of somebody else going faster.
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen higher. He might have the speed record. What's your record on the Blade?
My record was 51.9.
51 on a flat, right?
It more or less flat.
More or less
flat. It wasn't a downhill. I wouldn't call it downhill, but I wouldn't say it was perfectly flat. There was probably a 1% decline.
Nice. All right, Jeff asks, what up, Jason? Can you make a recommendation for a suspension seat post? I think because of the bike's weight, those road bumps are a little more brutal on the groin than my other bikes.
Yeah. There's a brand called NCX that actually produces a really, really nice suspension seat post. You're just going to have to make sure to get it in the right size. I believe that's 30.4 diameter for the Baby Maker seat post. So NCX is the brand name. Search, I would say even on Amazon, NCX suspension seat post, 30.4, and you should find a really, really nice option. It might be a little bit expensive, but it is definitely a good option. In fact, it's the same seat post that we use on our touring packages for like our F5 trail, our step through. I absolutely recommend it though. It's a great option, has a great length of travel.
Yeah, that's a really nice suspension seat post. All right, Jason, I think that's all the questions I've got for you.
Cool, man. That's nice and easy. Appreciate it, guys.
Hell yeah. Thanks so much for your help today. Big round of applause. Okay, we were almost caught up on questions, so I missed a few. I'm going to catch up on those, and we're going to end this live. It might even be on time today. Wow. That means people have their bikes. All right. Claude, Rob, I'm in Montreal. When will I receive my spare battery? Claude, we've been sending out spare batteries as they come in. A lot of them have gone out now. If you haven't received it yet, please hang tight. The batteries we're also sending the shipping address confirmation for. So please keep an eye out for that. If you don't get it, once we've said that everything's shipped out, then please contact us and we'll make sure it is sorted out. Richard, we got your question. William Hilla. Hey, Rob, it's good to see you. Hey, great to see you as well. Thanks for joining the live. Jan, when address confirmation, he says, hey, Ben, when address confirmation is sent out 5 to 7 weeks prior before arrival, does that mean I won't see my baby maker this summer if I did not even receive an allocation letter yet? Jan, great question. Ben is not joining the live today. It's just myself, Troy, and Jason who've been in here. But it means whenever you get it, it will be about 5 to 7 weeks from once you get that notification to the time you get your bike. It also depends on your geographic location. So if you're in Europe or UK, that time should be much shorter. 5 to 7 weeks, that's for the US and Canada, Alaska, Hawaii, as well as those do go by sea. Then they've got to import, etc. For the EU and UK, it is a much faster process because they're shipping locally there. Jam bonus. Hey, Rob, how can we tweak the limiter in the UK where we are governed to reduce max speeds? Jam bonus, bonus, those instructions are posted in the official FLX Baby Maker Owners Club. That's on Facebook. We post a link to that in every single Baby Maker update at the bottom where it says, check out some of the latest deliveries from the official FLX Baby Makers Owners Club. Click that link. You'll be able to join the club and look for those instructions. Just search like speed limit or something like that. Some people have posted videos and instructions on them. We, for legal reasons, can't provide those, but a lot of other riders are providing them, so I would look out for them. All right, we got a bunch of these already with Jason. Casper, hi Rob, would it still be possible to order the touring kit? Casper, I would recommend you reaching out to our support team, support@flx.bike, see if they'll be able to get that in for you. Jason, impressive scan for technical questions. Rob, that was seamless. Hey, thank you very much, Jason. We're getting the hang of this live thing and don't want to miss any questions here. Jam Bomus, I just loaded up the stream when you were talking about max speeds. I might be too late. Okay, I just answered your question. Jeff, nice Rob. Thanks, bye. Can't wait, but I have to. Thank you, Mark. Can't wait to get it for you either. Raul says, I just ordered the Connect 2.1 after a lot of research and ease of making adjustments. He's talking about a suspension seat post. Jan, thanks, Rob, for the answer. Jason, if you can get the parts in Spain to build them, absolutely. That has been a challenge with Spanish customs. Luckily, we've got about 5 weeks worth of components now and working on the incoming shipments as well. That is all the questions. I think we handled everything today. Very smooth live. Nobody spamming with repeat questions over and over and over again. So thank you, everybody, for being so well-behaved, so polite, and most of all for your patience. I know it's taken a lot longer to get the majority of these bikes out than we had anticipated, but we're on the home stretch now. Again, total shipped 84% worldwide. So we're on the home stretch now, and it's only a short matter of time before every single bike makes it into your hands. Alkesh says, I just placed my order for a new Baby Maker Pro 19 Black, matte black with touring, extra charger, and toolkit. Congratulations, Jambomas. Keep up the dedicated work. Thank you guys so much for joining this live, for your patience again, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one, everybody.